Namaste. This clipping is on consumer equilibrium. Equilibrium. What is equilibrium? It can be defined as a state of rest. And what is consumer equilibrium? Consumer equilibrium is a state where the consumer is highly satisfied given the income. He spends it in a certain way, whether he is going to spend it on a single commodity or whether he is going to spend it on two commodities or how many other commodities. The expenditure pattern that he undertakes is going to assure him maximum satisfaction, which is the basic objective of a consumer. So from that he would not like to change, right? So consumer equilibrium can be defined as a situation when a consumer is having maximum satisfaction with limited income and he has no tendency to change his way of existing expenditure, right? Now first we would see, given the income, that is, even as the income remains constant, right? Income remains constant, and given the price of a commodity, let's say the consumer is going to spend all his income on some product X. So given the price of X commodity, that is, even the price of X remains constant, how the consumer attains his equilibrium? That is, how is he going to allocate this given constant income on the purchase of the commodity X, and how many units will give him this maximum satisfaction, or where exactly the consumer attains this so-called equilibrium is what I am going to explain to you. So it is called as a single commodity equilibrium. A single commodity equilibrium is what we are going to see now, right? That is, given the income and given the price of the commodity, if the consumer is going to spend his entire income on the purchase of the single commodity, namely X, where does he attain his equilibrium? That is the single commodity equilibrium theory. Now this particular theory makes use of the law of diminishing marginal utility, right? Yeah, let me repeat. This single commodity equilibrium, it makes use of the law of diminishing marginal utility to express the consumer equilibrium. Recollecting the law of diminishing marginal utility, all of you by now should be knowing that even as a consumer consumes more and more of the commodity, the successive units bring in only lesser and lesser of satisfaction, right? So let's see that. Commodity X is what is going to be purchased, and then the price of the commodity X is given, which is fixed, and then the marginal utility of the commodity can be measured even as a number of units of X are going to increase. You know, the marginal utility basically falls as per the law of diminishing marginal utility, right? So having the purchase pattern of X commodity, given the price of the commodity X and given the income of the consumer, where exactly does the consumer attains this so-called equilibrium? Now, as per this single commodity case, otherwise called as the cardinal utility theory, right? It is called as a cardinal utility theory, and this cardinal utility theory, it is one of the earliest theories which holds good even now, right? And according to this cardinal utility theory, utility is measurable in utils, that again you are already aware of, right? So what are the conditions for the consumer to attain maximum satisfaction. We will move on to see through this, right? Now, let's assume that the first unit of commodity X is purchased, right? The utility that is derived from this first unit, let's say it is 20, and this is going to be purchased at a price of 5. So again, you know that price of the commodity is given, it is constant, it doesn't change. So that means the price of X is going to remain at 5. Fine. So how many ever units of X is going to be bought, 1 or 2 or 3, or how many ever it's going to be bought, it's going to be purchased at the same price. So simply you can, fill it up. The price will remain constant, right? Now the second unit of X that is purchased, you know that according to the law of diminishing marginal utility, should be giving you lesser utility compared to that of the first one. First one gave 20, the second one will give lesser, right? So again, let's say it is going to be 15. Fine. Now, even as the third one is going to be purchased, probably still lesser additional utility will be derived. So let's say that is going to be 10, right? Then the fourth unit is going to be purchased, that gives even more lesser additional utility. So let's say that is going to be 5, right? Then the consumer moves on to the fifth one, right? He purchases one more unit of product X. So that is not going to give him any additional utility at all, right? Fine. So then again, according to the law, you know that if one more is purchased and consumed, it might result in disutility, right? So this, consumer does not normally prefer. If you look into the diminishing marginal utility, as more is purchased, there is diminishing marginal utility. That's what is shown here, right? Now still you do not know where the consumer attains a so-called equilibrium. Normally in real life, the satisfaction, right? The satisfaction is what is going to be equated to that of the sacrifice, right? To understand whether the product is worth or not, the worth of the product, right, will be equated to the satisfaction derived from it. So satisfaction is nothing but it in this model, it is described through the utility, and more specifically the additional utility. So satisfaction, let's say, is the marginal utility of the given product X, right? So what are you sacrificing? You are sacrificing in terms of price, right? You're paying a price, you're making a sacrifice to procure a product which gives you some satisfaction. So when I say sacrifice, that is going to be the sacrifice made in terms of the price. So simply one of the basic equilibrium conditions will be the satisfaction being equal to sacrifice, or in other words, the marginal utility of the given product X should be equal to the price of the product X. And even as the consumer continues to consume, there should be the operation of diminishing marginal utility, or the law of diminishing marginal utility should very well be in operation as consumption continues. Now that's what you see here. Even as consumer is purchasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what's happening? There is diminishing marginal utility only happening, right? So that's the first thing that I told you, the law of diminishing marginal utility. It plays a big role in the consumer equilibrium single commodity case, right? And to understand in this pattern of spending where exactly the consumer attains this so-called equilibrium, you need to basically equate the satisfaction to that of the sacrifice. And satisfaction is normally measured in terms of the additional utility, which is the marginal utility, right? And if satisfaction should be equal to sacrifice, sacrifice is something which is paid in terms of money, right? So the point where the marginal utility of the product is going to be equal to that of the price of the product is where probably the consumer attains his equilibrium. So in this table, if you see, it is when the consumer is buying 4 units of the product that the satisfaction is equal to the sacrifice, or in other words, the marginal utility of the product X is equal to the price of the product X. Now, how come this is the equilibrium point? How can we say this is the only equilibrium point? What happens over here when the first, second and third commodity is purchased? You observe that the marginal utility of the product X is much higher than that of the price paid. Can you see that? 20, 15, 10, price is only 5. So you compare the satisfaction to that of the sacrifice, you understand that the satisfaction is more than the sacrifice that the consumer is making. So being a rational consumer, if the sacrifice is giving him a lot of satisfaction, there is a tendency to continue on to consume. So any rational consumer will continue on to consume more units of products, because even as he consumes the first, second and the third unit of the product, the marginal utility of the product is much higher than the price, or the satisfaction is more than the sacrifice. So there is scope for him to continue. So he will continue to consume, right? And then let us see this bit. Even as the 5th and the 6th unit are going to be purchased, then in these two cases, very clearly the marginal utility of the product X is lesser than that of the price of the product. That means the satisfaction derived due to the consumption is going to be much lesser than the sacrifice. Again, no rational consumer is going to like this. Who will pay more? Who will sacrifice a lot and derive a small satisfaction, right? So that is not going to be done. Fine. So no rational consumer will again move on to this. So we can rest assured that this is the only equilibrium possible where the marginal utility of the product is going to be equal to that of the price of the product. So when marginal utility is more than the price, that would mean satisfaction derived is more than the price. So there is scope to continue on to consume. Consumer does not stop consumption here. He continues to consume. And again, no rational consumer will move on to consume the 5th and the 6th unit, because the satisfaction is going to be much lower than that of the sacrifice. So he will not prefer this also. So this is not preferred, this is also not preferred. The only preferred point is this, where exactly the satisfaction is equal to the sacrifice, or the condition marginal utility of the product is equal to the price of the product. So that's the only equilibrium possible. In other cases, there could be a chain reaction. More satisfaction will lead to more consumption. So they will be diminishing marginal utility and the consumer will get back to this. Fine. When more consumption takes place, diminishing marginal utility is going to happen. That means the marginal utility which was higher is going to fall. Right? It's going to continue. This is not going to change. See, price will remain same. But when increased consumption is happening, right, marginal utility is continuously falling. It will fall to such an extent that the two are going to be equal. So that's a chain reaction that will happen when marginal utility of the product is going to be higher than the price of the product, right? And on the other hand, when marginal utility of the product is going to be less, right, then this is not going to be worth buying. These 5 and 6 units are not going to be worth buying. So the consumer will cut short on the purchase, will reduce the purchase. So when he reduces the purchase, where the consumer is going to stop consuming or reduce the purchase, fine, then what happens? Yeah, this utility disappears, and then zero additional utility, and then see, he will be back to this. He will be back to this. So there he stops at this equilibrium. So that is how only when the marginal utility of the product is equal to the price of the product, there is an equilibrium possibility for a consumer who consumes a single commodity. Fine? Yeah. So that is the single commodity equilibrium for you. Hope you understood the tabulation. Right? Now moving on to the diagrammatic representation. It is a very simple diagram. You already know the marginal utility. If you measure utility out here and the units consumed, in this case units of x product, utility of x product. Fine. So as per this table, you can see that there is a diminishing marginal utility. So if you are going to show the behavior of marginal utility, as usual you will have a downward sloping marginal utility curve like this, right? And what about the price? Price is yet another variable that you are supposed to show here. So along the y-axis, price of the product and the utility of the product are going to be shown as units of consumption increase. So one, you have shown there is a marginal utility which continuously falls as more units are going to be consumed. The other one is immaterial of how many ever units are consumed, 1, 2, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, price remains the same. So if this is going to be 5, if that is going to be the starting point for price, right? Nothing is bought, still price is 5 only, and whatever is bought 1, 2 or 3, price still remains the same. So that means the price line is going to run parallel to the x-axis. Fine. So look at this particular point. This particular point is probably the 4 units of x product that is bought. Fine. Where there is an equality of price and that of marginal utility of the product. So the MUX is equal to PX at this particular point, which is the first condition for the single commodity equilibrium. And the second condition is that even as successive units are consumed, there should be a diminishing marginal utility, and yeah, that is what you have, right? So that's a single commodity equilibrium case. I hope you understood. Thank you.